I mean, clippy, so I keep your audio up and maybe the power up, and it might not be as clippy sounding.
There we go. It just dropped the game. Any better?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound bad. It definitely doesn't sound amazing, but it doesn't sound bad.
Man, that's all right. Figure it out. I get this better. You know, disappear over time.
Yeah, see, like right there, it was just very clippy. It was cutting out. I don't know if it was cutting out or your amp cutting out, chattering. I don't know if you got the delay on your amp or what you're running on that, because it definitely just kind of cut out on you a bunch.
Put that off.
Turn your amp off. Try it.
Hey, how's that? Any better?
You're not getting all crazy sounding, but it's a lousy mic.
Yeah, it's a brand new mic. I think somebody's been inside this thing and all the radios I got from him. He's got all kinds of crazy stuff, and I think he did most of his own work. So he probably got in there and didn't know what he was doing.
Hey, 1221, 149 in his mobile can still hear your barefoot.
Yeah, I mean like I said, you're on frequency right there, Bear, and you weren't clipping it and you weren't cutting out like you were at the amp. So I think that's your amp chattering for that. But it's not making that breaking up noise anymore. But you can tell it's a stock mic. So I mean, I think a good mic behind that would make a big difference. I'll tell you what sounds good on them if you play a lot on
testing.
Like an old Turner Plus 3 or even a Turner Plus 2 or a Super Sidekick or something. Those got a lot of compression in them, and they sound really good on sideband.
Yeah, I'll have to grab one of those. I got an old Plus 2, but it's nasty. So I'll see if I can dig around, track one of them down. I know one of the guys in Portland said he had a couple, maybe work a swap or something.
Roger.
Nasty.
Yeah, I've been enjoying Radioman's YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys are on there checking out his stuff, but man, it's entertaining and useful.
Holy crap, it's like I paid him to say that.
No joke. It's just like, oh wow, yeah, all right. I'm watching you like trace back all the RFI in your truck, and that ended up being, or at least part of the problem is that third brake light.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I told Screwdriver about that.
Probably not, no.
So I found out the other day, my wife and daughter are behind me in the car, and they said, your third brake light just flashes. I'm like, because I have a cap on the truck. I'm like, really? I didn't know that. So, of course, I set up a test when I got home, and sure as shit, when I talk on the CB, as I speak, the brake light flashes with modulation. So I ended up putting a couple. I found the wire going to it, and I took 2 wraps on a ferrite, and that stopped it.
Go get one of those blue light up SR10s or whatever the hell they are from Stryker. You'd be impersonating a police officer.
Yeah, but I got one that fucking lights up all the time. It's funny. It's sitting in the back seat of the truck, and it lights up in the back seat of the truck, and it's not even plugged in.
Well, that's because you're just running mowatts.
Yeah. But that's kind of funny with the third brake light. I've seen it obviously induce power. I wonder is it like an LED brake light or something, or is it a standard regular bulb in there? Do you know?
No, it's definitely an LED brake light.
Roger. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I just tried to make a basic video. I'm trying not to get I don't know, just shit everyone needs, I don't know, just basic shit people need to know, oh, why is this happening? So I just did a simple video on it. Just showed the before and after.
Dude, that should be your slogan, Radioman. Just basic shit people ought to know.
Basic dude shit.
CB for dummies. I like it.
But it's probably been doing that since I put that cap on. But I never knew, right? I mean, who the hell's looking back there when you're transmitting?
Yeah, exactly.
Jim, when I put a 4-pill in the car. Yeah, that'll light that thing up.
I am running a 4-pill.
Shit, you should be lighting up the people beside you's brake lights.
At least, yeah, that's 7505's a 4-pill.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I can't say anything bad about that little box. It works, and it's enough that it gets the job done, but you don't have to go crazy with the wiring.
Yeah, but she is hungry for power. You can't run her along without the engine running.
Yeah, I usually have the motor running. I have a voltmeter that plugs into the cigarette lighter plug, just a little cheapy. And I've tried transmitting without the motor running, and you know, you can the battery not love you long time when you do that.
Yeah, around 12.5, 12.3, it starts to sound yucky.
Battery no lovey long time.
Especially with a 100-watt amp.
Yeah, do anything for $5.
Exactly.
$5 make you holla.
Boom, long time.
$5 on all.
Bear, you probably saw the latest one. I don't know if you saw the latest one I put up there.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, that's Radio Man. You
Yes, a little homage to Smokey and the Bandit and Jackie Gleason.
Going away again, Bear.
Well, that made everything get quiet.
Man, I hate it when that happens.
Hey, Screwdriver, have you checked out Radio Man's YouTube site?
Yeah, I haven't really. I watched a couple of his lives when we were fucking around with it, but there was I haven't spent a whole lot of time watching much on YouTube in a while. Haven't had time. It looks good.
Oh, it's awesome. He's just get all the gears sitting right there. You can see everything. You just key up and you know you're on channel.
Yes, sir.
SDR, that's what I was trying to think of, but my brain didn't want to work.
Yeah, that thing there.
Stupid, dumb radio.
I just want to know why he's showing a picture of a ZD on there.
Well, you know.
Actually, I don't know. Is that a ZD or is that a 102 Radio Man?
What are you talking? A ZD or a 102? What are you talking about?
Your freaking cover picture for your page.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look. I just like the look of the picture. I thought it was a nice picture.
Yeah, it just looks like an old 101 ZD, or looks like what I got sitting right in front of me, but I can't tell. I don't think it's a 102 is definitely longer. I believe it's a ZD.
Well, it's not a picture of my stuff, so I don't know. I just thought it was a nice picture.
Bootleg from a neighbor.
start watching your videos instead of all your gates.
That's it. My feelings are hurt. I'm fucking done.
That's it. I'm selling it all.
Yeah, screw you guys. I got a feeling too. Here we go.
I'm not. I'm talking about his videos, not his gates. I need to watch those. You do a fine job as well. You do an excellent job. A very good job. It's a very, very good job.
Yeah, well, as good as a phone can do.
Yeah, when it's falling over and seeing my reflection, and, you know, it is what it is.
Has it ever fallen over and caught something embarrassing like your finger in your nose?
Yes, once or twice.
The best is when I'm trying to push a button on it or something, and I hit the button that turns it around for the selfie mode or forward-facing camera or whatever, and I'm sitting here like, you know, no hat on, and my hair's all stupid, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Your hair is stupid.
It happens.
Good evening to whoever's in the listening to the stream.
Bourbon spilled over on the counter.
Thank you for stopping by.
Jägermeister.
Well, that's better than you seeing the bottle of Jergens behind me.
Ho ho!
That would be alcohol abuse, and I don't think we can accuse him of alcohol abuse.
Exactly.
That was definitely break 1-3.
Yeah, it was. I was waiting for somebody.
I'm still thinking about that bottle of Jergens. Now I'm going to be looking next time I'm over there.
So I'll leave it front and center.
Just to mess with me. Gross.
You did what? For how many cookies?
Wait, what kind of cookies?
Hey, Radio Man, what's the name of your Facebook page?
Just on YouTube. Radioman260 on YouTube. That's the only one I'm on.
He's got 86 followers.
I was just watching yours. Isn't it weird how you get that sound that comes through like that real slowly?
Yeah, do you get that too?
Not on my regular radio, but I do on the Flex and I do on my SDR.
I honestly have not invested the time to figure out what the hell that is. I'm pretty confident it's not coming from my house, but I can't say that with 100% certainty. I haven't invested the time to figure it out. It's kind of annoying, but I can kind of work around it.
I truly think it's something just internally on almost all SDRs. The way the converter and shit works, because you'll notice like it was up one channel or whatever. Like I've seen it come across a lot of people like that. It's only on SDRs I usually see that.
Yeah, I just, it's one of those things where it's like I haven't invested the time to figure it out, so I'm just not sure. Like, yeah, I know what you're saying. It can be kind of annoying when it's sweeping through the passband because it's like, son of a bitch. Like someone like John, who's not hitting me with a crushing signal, it can be kind of annoying, but it's not enough of a problem for me that I've invested the time to figure it out.
I just love watching the SDR, and when he keys up and I key up, I give him half the signal that he gives his own SDR. I think that's pretty amazing.
Well, that's because when I key up, the mute circuit's being engaged, which grounds the antenna input on the SDR.
That's why it explains why it doesn't just flat it right out of the whole screen.
Yeah, I mean, I could manually force it, and it would be a lot messier.
What antenna do you have on that?
So, I'm actually, it's kind of weird how I do it. I'm tapping inside the 2995. There's a guy who makes a buffer board. This is what we'll call as a buffer board. So it doesn't load down the 2995 Ranger. I tap inside of that behind the antenna relay, and I feed that into my SDR receiver. So my SDR is sharing the same antenna as my Ranger, but I don't have to configure any extra switching because I'm behind the antenna relay of the Ranger. Does that make sense?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But answer the question, what kind of antenna do you have attached to it? I mean, I know what the setup you just said, but what is it?
Oh, it's just an IMAX 2000 up in the tree. I did it this way because then now my SDR can look at like 10 megahertz of bandwidth. I mean, it's not practical to actually listen to that, but I can look at the entire 11 meter band this way, and I can run multiple receivers in the SDR. I mean, is it practical for a human being to listen to multiple receivers at once? No, but I could run between the Ranger and the SDR. I mean, I could receive 20 different channels at once. It's not practical, but you could do it. Sometimes I monitor a couple channels at once, But yeah, IMAX 2000.
He talks on. He's not using a separate antenna, so you could use a Tornado, you could use your long wire, whatever's plugged into that radio. He's tapping off the radio, not necessarily an antenna. So you can use whatever antenna you're talking on.
No, I get that. I've always just been of the sound mind of one radio, one antenna. That's just me.
Yeah, but with the right equipment, yeah, it sounds awesome. Especially on his SDR, it doesn't show him being stupid right across the whole screen.
Yeah, what's nice though, I mean, if he had multiple antennas when he puts a beam up or whatever, you know what I mean? He's still going to use that same SDR. You're going to get the signal jumping up going to the beam. And like when I do it over here, the way I have it, I go to a second antenna. So it's only as good as the receive on my second antenna. So my radio is most likely going to receive a whole lot better than what my second antenna does.
Don't get me wrong, Traveler. I mean, I still use the Ranger as a receiver. It's just a way for me to share the antenna. That's all it really is, because I wanted to have a dedicated, and I guess dedicated is not the right word, but I wanted a band-appropriate antenna. This SDR has 3 antenna inputs, but by doing it this way, it just kind of allows me to, have more options.
Much better receive too, because he can see it both of them, the SDR and the radio.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, that sounds like a really cool way to do it. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I was just curious.
But the SDR usually has a better receive than most radios do.
I don't know. A lot of it depends on your software, but I don't have that experience over here.
Or the antenna you hook it to.
I've been on my same antenna. I don't hear as many people on my SDR as I do my radio, but that's just my SDR. I don't know.
Well, my scanning radio's on 102-inch width, and that thing picks up everything. It's got a hell of a lot better receive than any of the other radios I got.
I know that SDR bundle that I looked at on Amazon.
What's going on, everyone in the channel?
Like a very small
Just playing around with the settings on the SDR.
Oh yeah, the stock ones I can maybe get in 99 the Wolf just because it's whatever, a 6-inch antenna. Mine came with like 3 antennas. It's got a telescopic one, but I'm not hearing any. I can't hear Swiper out here with that thing. That's for sure.
Yeah, 10-4. Somewhere I've got, and I can't remember where, but it's in a box somewhere because I've moved 5 friggin' times since I stopped sailing, but I think it was like a very, very primitive form of SDR in basically giant desktop radio form. It's an ICOM, and it came with it's like a discone antenna. I popped that up and I could listen to anything from airband to single sideband slow scan TV.
PCR 1000.
Is that what that was? I've got it, like I said, I've got it somewhere.
I'm pretty sure it's a PCR 1000. I used to have one. Black box.
I think so, either black or very dark blue.
I really love my realistic DX440. That thing just picks up everything.
I actually stumbled upon a radio today that still had shortwave programmed into it.
Nice.
What were you listening to on shortwave?
Oh, I wasn't listening to it. That was for sale at Rennie's. It was AM, FM, and 2 blocks of shortwave bands radio. It was kind of neat.
Huh. No kidding. I don't know. Yeah, there's what the hell's that station? WTWW out of Tennessee. They're not a bad station. They play music and stuff. You can actually go online and request music automatically.
Yeah, I hear either India or Singapore or somewhere out that way. I hear if I've got my 745 on general receive, I can get shortwave stuff.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, WTWW. I can't remember their frequency. They got a couple of them, but I got like some old boat anchor receivers, like an R390. I'll open the bandwidth up on that and play that through a amplifier, then through a big floor speaker, and they bump out some pretty good tunes, blow the dust out of the speakers.
Don't call all radios anchors.
Have you seen an R390?
Alright, that might be an anchor, but yeah.
I think it weighs about 80 pounds. I actually dropped an R392. Yeah, an R392 off the tailgate of a truck, and it went right down the front of my shins and on my foot.
Sounds like a broken foot to me.
I was wearing Keen sandals, which has the rubber safety toe box, so I was okay.
How about the radio? What happened to the radio?
Not a goddamn thing. Yeah, friggin' scraped my shins and everything. I was showing it to somebody, and I went to plop it up on the tailgate, and I friggin' missed the tailgate.
Yeah, sorry to hear about you, but yeah, the radio didn't get hurt.
Hey, as long as the radio's good.
Oh, I don't care. I laugh about it now when I tell people. But yeah, I'm lucky I didn't break a foot.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember in the back of this old 765, but I believe on the back of the 101s, I almost think there's an RCA jack on there for the IF stage where I could probably plug my SDR directly into that and do the same thing without having to get in the radio.
Yes, you could do it that way. I didn't do it that way, but yes, you could tap the IF.
It also, I don't know, I think my 920 has a receive antenna on the back, but I don't know if it's just, I'm not sure how that works. I don't remember if that was for, the receiver out or if that was for, a long wire plugged in. I mean, you can't select it in your A or B antenna, so I'm kind of, I don't know. I might have to look into that.
Yeah, I mean, I did this because I didn't want to put up another antenna, but I wanted, I got wire antennas here, but they don't receive as good as an actual 11-meter antenna because it's not a tuned antenna. So I was like, well, I want an antenna, I want a dedicated antenna, but I'm going to be talking. So I needed something to kind of protect the SDR, so I'm like, well, why don't I just tap into the Ranger, and then, when I'm keyed up here, the SDR is protected, and I don't have to have, I can run the SDR, not use the Ranger. So it was just kind of a way to, not put up more equipment that I didn't need to put up.
They make an external, TR box for that too. MFJ does. I made my own over here just with a regular RF sniffing circuit and a relay. So it's easy enough. Like I said, they make one. I think they sell for about $100. Just goes in line with your coax, and your coax goes into it from your antenna, and then it splits into two. One goes to your radio, one goes to your SDR. And when your radio, it splits them both to receive, but when your radio keys up, it shorts your SDR to ground, so it doesn't fuck with anything, and and you just transmit as normal. The only downfall is obviously you got another relay in line. You're adding some inductance. There's there's a chance that the relay could physically go bad or something in it too.
Oh, I agree. There's more than one way to do it. This was just the way how I did it.
I fucking like it. Like I said, I like it.
Radioman wants an SDR, baby.
Yay!
On that note, I am going to hang it up, and we will catch everybody later.
Have a good one, Traveler.
See you later, Traveler.
I was going pippy, but see you later, Traveler.
You had something else in your hands? I gotta ask, did you wash your hands after?
I wash my hands before. I don't want to get my pee-pee dirty.
Fire.
Not all are like dirty, big boy.
At least slippery.
Oh, frickin' John.
Well, I don't know about that. He does run a Ranger.
Exactly.
Oh, John, next time I'm going up to camp, I'll be hauling for you when I pass through on the radio.
shout. You never know.
Well, I got going through Bangor area, check 38, 11, 8, and 40. Fairfield, check 11 and 25. And then Millinocket, check channel 30.
Yep, that's what I got. With local channels being dead, I've been roaming around and listening to the other channels, and yeah, that's what I got.
Well, hopefully when I get a beam up, I'll be able to reach out farther.
Now it makes me want to fuck with my SDR. You know, I really got to try to, maybe sometime this winter, I got to try to get that fucking flex working.
Yes, I forgot.
I don't know, I didn't have, even when I could run it on the other band, there was still some other weird issues that I didn't love about the way that it goes to the sound card for all of its converting. It picks up a lot of weird RF stray depending on where I move the wires. But yeah, neither there, but I can get the program working. But that you can't see a big bandwidth on. I was kind of disappointed that you could only go out so far. Like, I couldn't look at the whole band at once.
No, that was a pretty early iteration. I mean, that was a lot of bandwidth when it came out at that time.
I mean, that's what I love about my SDRs. I mean, I can, like you said, I can look at 10 megahertz wide. My computer don't like 10 meg wide. Anything over 5, it gets sketchy, but it don't matter. Even at 2 megahertz wide, that's way too wide for me to, you can't see shit on the screen at that point anyway.
Yeah, that's why with this computer, I beefed up the memory, solid state hard drive, video card, so that when I do go out, like the monitor I use for that SDR, it's an old Vizio TV, and I run it at 1080, probably way more than I need, but boy, it's an awfully clear picture.
What software were you using?
Right now I'm using SDR Uno. Hey, Primitive X, how you doing?
I don't know. I think mine wasn't compatible with that. I tried it. I couldn't get it to. It wouldn't work with mine.
Just saying hi direct on the channel. Hopefully you're hearing me.
I just like the way it was laid out, but like I said, my biggest problem is looking at it is perfectly fine. It's listening to it that is brutal. Sideband, it's a joy to listen to on sideband. AM, it's just, I haven't found the right combination to get it so I can listen to anybody on AM at all.
Well, that's too bad. I got pretty good luck with this one.
Is like you said, I mean, even if you go like a narrow band, like 6 kilohertz wide in the receive, well, your transmit is only going to be a little spike in there. So there's like 4 kilohertz wide of static down there. Well, instead of me hearing you, it brings in that 4 kilohertz of static louder than you. So you can give me a 20, and all I kind of hear is like staticky. I can hear you, but it's like you're in the static. Now, if I narrow up the bandwidth to like, whatever, 1K wide, maybe 2K wide, now I can start to hear you and it blocks out that static, but yet it's so narrow that I can't hear you well. It's weird. And I've tried all kinds of settings, and I haven't been able to get it out of it. I truly think it's just something to do with my SDR itself.
It's clipping. It's doing the clip because you can't hear both top and bottom. You only hear in the center. It's like a clipping.
Now, that has nothing to do with it bringing in static with people.
Primitive, hopefully you can hear me this way. It's easier than me typing. Yeah, the skip died off about 8:30 here.
I've seen it where Cobra and Swiper, I don't even know if Swiper plays with his right now anymore, but they, Cobra would have his on, and they wouldn't even be making his waterfall move, not even showing a signal on the meter, and he could pick them up out of the static, you know what I mean? It was picking up people that he could hear better on that than he could on his radio. Me, it's the opposite. Like I said, you could give me a 10 or a 20, and I'm picking up the static with you. Sideband, not a problem. FM, oh, fucking amazing. AM, it's just trash, and I don't get why.
Well, what kind of antenna you got hooked to your SDR?
I can hook it to any antenna. It doesn't even matter.
Up on the same frequency at the same time with it being on another antenna. That would happen easily.
And you take out your diodes and they're replaceable, but no, it's not that, because then it takes out everything if your detection diodes go. Been like that since it was brand new.
Yeah, and a different subject. I heard you say you're picking up something at work tomorrow. More goodies?
Yeah. I mean, depends if I bring my shit down, but yeah, there was we're throwing a bunch of shit out back, cleaning up, and some of it was stuff that I necessarily don't need. I'm trying to get the other mechanics to take first, but we probably had like 500 feet of chain, like brand new chain in a box. We don't use fucking chain. We make rope, so that's got to go. There's actually an engine lift there, like a cherry picker engine lift there. That's got to go. I already own two of them. I don't need no one. There is some more rope, but I mean, that is what it is. Not this wire core shit I just picked up, just some. One of them, my buddy's like, oh, this would make a good pull rope because it's got nice looped ends on it. But I'm like, dude, it's fucking 100 feet long and an inch and a half big. I'm like, who's going to fucking go 100 feet for a tow rope?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, chains are always handy. I'll definitely take that wire rope you have. I just didn't want to be like, I don't need all of it, but I didn't want to be like, yeah, I'll take it, and then you knew somebody that needed it for like a project. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll always grab on like rope, whatever, stuff like that. It always comes in handy. Plus, good rope's expensive.
Yeah, but it's good to have shit tied down.
Yeah, trust me, I know what we get for our rope. I would never pay that for our rope. I was telling my wife, I'm like, that rope that was in the back of my truck, I want to say it was, if I remember right, it was about $75,000 worth of rope.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I just, when you mentioned it, I didn't want to be like, yeah, and then cut a bunch of people off. But I definitely wouldn't mind coming over and grabbing some, I had a nice bit of rope that I used up at camp, and we used a snatch block to pull a tree away from the shit house. We cut it down, and my buddy, he had like a box scraper on the back of the tractor, and he dropped it on the rope, and he kind of skunned the rope. And I don't know if I'd use it for anything critical anymore. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of frayed it.
Yeah, he did.
What did I say? I don't even know what I said. What did I say?
Hulk smash. Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, this is wire core, and it's meant for, it's arborist rope, so it's meant for tree work, tree climbing. We make what they call like flip zips or whatever. So when they're climbing a tree, they fucking, it's got, two loops on each side. We cut them in certain lengths for different customers, whatever. And, they have the shackles and all that shit on each side, and they flip it around the tree and they grab it, and so they shimmy up the tree. Well, it's wire core because if you hit it with a chainsaw, it isn't going to cut it, So that's what it's designed for. The braid on it, the jacket was too tight, so they couldn't, They couldn't splice it. They couldn't get through it easily, so it was all put on hold. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we got to get rid of it." And for dump or whatever, our people that take our trash, you got to cut it up in 6-foot lengths. Well, it'll take fucking 3 days to cut it all up into 6-foot lengths with a fucking chop saw.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I was talking to someone at my work, and they were talking about pallets and what a pain in the ass it is to get rid of pallets.
No, it's not a pain in the ass. They burn.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my dad picks them up all the time, and he brings them to camp, and you know, we have stacks of them at work right now. We're trying to get rid of, and you know, they're on the side of the road for free everywhere. But a lot of people pick them up, and they use them for campfires and whatnot. And you know, I mean, they do go quick and good for free, but. Yeah, like I said, we got stacks of them at work right now that I could bring home. Like, you know, I'll probably bring my truck in before I go to camp next time, and I'll bring home a fucking big stack of them to bring up to camp to burn. Because, you know, they burn quick, they burn hot, and they're fun.
Yeah, and 6 cuts. It only takes 6 cuts to make a pallet into firewood.
No, I just stack them all on a fucking pile and light them on fire. I don't cut them up.
Ooh, hot one.
Oh, yes. We have some good fires.
But, yeah, no, back to your point about the rope. I mean, you know, having a good bit of rope's always handy, you know, or a good piece of chain, shit like that. I got some pretty good chains and stuff around, you know, but the only thing I don't like about burning pallets is the goddamn nails.
We empty the fire pit a couple times a year. I mean, our fire pit's pretty big, but we empty it a few times a year, and it's just all fucking nails. It's the only thing left, so it can be pretty rough. Yeah, I don't have much for chain right now. I got a few pieces here and there, but nothing crazy. Rope, I mean, I don't even have a lot of rope, considering I work for a rope company, but I got this rope. Like I said, this stuff, it'll work great for guy wires or whatever, but you can't coil it up tight. You're not putting it behind the seat of your truck or anything, you know what I mean? It's kind of... It is what it is, you know, and like the guy wires work great. I just couldn't see it going to scrap. I'm like, oh, well, I could use, you know, 500 feet of it or whatever, 1,000 feet for the guy wires on my 100-foot tower I want to put up. And it's way overkill. I mean, I think it's like 3/16, you know, lined. I think it's 3/16, maybe a quarter inch. I don't know. No, 5/16 or 3/8. Sorry, fucking whatever. I think it's 5/16. Solid, not solid, but you know, stainless wire in there, cable, and then it's 5/8. You know, it's 5/8 thick, so it's pretty thick rope.
Yeah, and it's brightly colored, so if you use it as guy cable, you'd see it.
Well, that's kind of what I was telling Travel. I'm like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people want their guy wire to kind of, you know, not be fucking in your face, so this isn't going to work for that. But like mine, I was like, oh, where I'm putting it, I kind of want it to be seen. That way, you know, it's not going to be in the middle of my field, but the tower might be, and the guy wire is going to be off to the edge, but I don't want somebody doing something stupid or hitting it, you know, so I wouldn't put it obviously right in someone's way or my way, but, you know, I'm like, oh, that bright colored would be nice for that. My problem is not problem. Like I said, you're going to loop it over, and then you need, you know, some 5/8 U-bolts and saddles, and, you know, what's it going to take to hold that in place? And it is going around rope, too, and not just metal. So, you know, to get it to tighten up, you might have to use a couple of U-bolts and saddles, and how much of those when you're talking that size, you know? I mean, you know, this shit's going to hold up a tower for fucking 100 years, so, you know, it's still worth it.
A screwdriver.
Yes.
Just 10-5 from the live screen chat room. Jeep Man 1970 says, calm down with all the rope and chain talk. Too exciting for me.
Oh, should we slow it down? It's got some big chain going on, big boy.
Sounds like he's got bondage issues.
Oh, we didn't even bring in the whips yet.
Oh, cue that sexy music. Now if we just said somebody that worked at the leather factory. Yeah, no, I'll catch up with you. I'd grab some of that rope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need it all sitting outside over winter or anything, and I said I know Traveler said he wanted some, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, fucking some bolt cutters, some whatever, a die grinder, or whatever, cut off tool. There's more than enough, you know. I mean, I don't have any use for it right off, and if it all went, it would all go, because I'm not getting my tower up tomorrow, so I really don't care, because I'm sure there'll be more at some point in time. But like I said, there's a lot there, so, you know, if anybody needs some really thick, really bright orange guy wire, then let me know, or whatever you want to use it for. Look, you could, you know, I don't know how conductive whatever the wire is, but, you know, I think the heart is what they call it in the middle. I almost think that's aluminum, but maybe you could make a big dipole out of this shit. I don't know.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd have to research it, because one thing, when I tilt over my tower, I think I'm going to use like an electric winch, but, you know, there's not going to be enough cable the way I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to go around like a snatch block or something, and I'm going to have to get some extra cable. I wonder if using some of that rope to raise and lower the tower would be any good.
Fucking just stick cable in there, so it'd be fine as long as you got big enough pulleys and shit for it to run through. Like that was one of my other things. And the way I want to put up my next tower, my tall one, is going to be with a hazer or some type of a trolley system. So I got to have multiple guy points. I don't know if that shit would be. It might be too thick for me to drop it down, because you got to undo your guy wires and let them hang down, and your hazer or trolley has to go over your guy wires. And I think that shit might be too thick for a hazer to go over.
Yeah, maybe on the hazer. I mean, that tower, that aluminum tilt over is not that heavy, and I'm not gonna. The way my antenna farm is here, the receiving antennas are on one end of the property, so I'm splitting things up. But it might be good for tipping over the tower and raising and lowering it. That's something I hadn't thought of. But yeah, no, everything here is either going to go up on a hazer on the other tower or tip over. No more climbing towers here at Radioman Estates.
Why don't you custom build your own?
I already have a hazer, though.
Yeah, see, I need to get one or build one or whatever. But you know, the only problem, like, well, it depends on how tall you put up your tower. See, so, and I don't care about climbing towers. It doesn't bother me as long as they're tied off good. But when I go to put up my next big tower, I'm going to have to climb it and put on one section at a time. I'm not going to tilt up 90 feet of fucking tower. It doesn't work. I've seen it. To tilt up anything more than 50 or 60 feet, they usually fold in half.
Yeah, I usually don't climb much higher than 4 feet above the guide wires.
So my thought is, when I'll probably put up like 30 or 40 feet when I first go to stand it up, and then guy it off, and then I'll climb up. I'll put the gin pole on, or I'll use my hazer or the gin pole, whatever. But climb up, put the gin pole on, bring up one more section, bolt it together, you know, climb up, put the gin pole on, and every 2 sections guy it off again. That way I feel safe.
Well, I know a fellow that can turn around and put in a nice slab. I also know another fellow that can turn around and stand up an awesome tower for you right on that slab with his crane. I mean, his crane goes 100 feet up in the air, so I think they'll stand up about anything you got.
Yeah, it's all to get into the locations of where they're at. That's always the problem.
Location, location, location.
One of them you can't, because it's going across my leach field and septic, and the other one, it's pretty wet. If it's dry enough, it wouldn't be as bad, but I still don't know exactly where I'm putting both towers. I got 2 more towers I think I want to put up. One of them, I think I'm just going to use the freestanding one. I'm putting it near my building here, and I'm going to make it hinge easily off my back deck. And I won't need any guy wires or anything for that. So that won't be a big deal. I just need to come up with the mount and figure out some holes and some cement and whatever. But like I said, my tall one, I have 2 different locations in mind, but one of them is so far back that I really don't think it's feasible for me to get, to get all my cables and shit, my coax. So I think I might go closer, which means it's going to be real close to where my other tower is, which means the other tower might be fairly useless where it is. So, I'm figuring that out still in my head.
Well, don't forget that hard shell aluminum shit I got.
Yeah, we'll put it this way. What I'm doing for my next one, I'm going to need some really good coax. So, I don't know. I will need some 75 ohm coax to match it. I'm going to go, there's multiple beams going up, and it's not going to be this year on the multiple beams. I'm still hoping to maybe get up a moonraker before winter gets here, but we'll see. That could be here real soon.
Yeah, but the solid shield means it's 100%. 100% whatever goes in one end is coming out the other.
Yeah, but that still doesn't mean, no, there's still loss in it, trust me. You still have loss, but that doesn't mean it can handle more than 500 watts or 5,000 watts or whatever it happens to be.
I'm going to say at least 5,000.
It usually comes down to the size of the coax, really, and that stuff is not necessarily thick. So a lot of it comes down to what your dielectric is and how far away it is from your center core to your outer shield. If that's only a fucking 1/8 of an inch because your coax is only, a 1/2 inch thick or whatever, it's pretty easy to arc that when you start getting up there in power.
Yeah, but it's 12 gauge aluminum in the center core and solid shield on the outside. It's perfect.
Yeah, so you only got like 1/8 inch of insulation in between it, or 1/16 or whatever. And like I said, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on what the dielectric's made up out of, and I was more looking at like 1.25 inch, 1.125 heliax.
Well, a couple of them strands are solid foam, and those bend kind of nice. A couple of the others, though, are the gas-filled ones, so you can actually run air pressure through it. So I figured that'd be good for a little air-powered piston to change from vertical to horizontal.
Yeah, it might not be bad. Like I said, now you're talking it's probably not rated for nearly as much power, but it just depends on when I say power. I'm not talking like Channel 6 power, Super Bowl power, but I'm also not talking, a 4-pill linear power either. Somewhere in between 100 watts and 100,000.
And maybe more. I do have ideas,
I've got all kinds of funky ideas I want to try, that's for sure. So, like a hinge-up tower would be great. That hinge-up tower I got out back with the 2 beams on it right now is a perfect test bed tower. It only takes me maybe 15 minutes to drop that thing down. It's not a big deal. It takes me longer to lug the battery and the winch on top of the fucking thing than it does to drop it.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing in my telescope and pole. I pull it down and I can climb up on the roof next to it and change whatever antenna I want, put the other antenna on, put it back up again. It's got guidelines and everything. It's perfectly secure.
You could turn your audio down again, like quite a bit, because you sound like you're in a jet airplane taking off.
Yeah, that's, like I said, I talked to John. Right there is about as low as I want to go.
Yeah, and you just get a pretty constant dead key in there of, like I said, just kind of like white noise.
Yeah, this is Delta, and it's at 40% right now.
Oh, I almost pulled the trigger, but I really didn't have the money. But if I would have known it was a real legit sale, a guy on Facebook had one of them Delta 2002s, I think they were, whatever they were, with all the modules in it for sale. I think he wanted like $400, but all the modules, and I'm like, man, I bought one of them back in the day, and I only had the one module in it, and I think it was close to $400 when I bought it back then.
Well, 500's got the same microphone I got right now, and he's been using it. And I offered him $150 for his. He won't answer me.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't even think I. Well, not. I wouldn't think. I know I wouldn't give that much for one of those. You know, I just. Yeah, I'm good. But you know, I'd probably pick one of them up for $75 again. I like those. This thing looks, you know, nothing like one of those. It's they're really cool looking. They're big though. It's a huge mic.
Well, it's not that big. I mean, you close it all up, it looks like nothing.
I'm not talking about the one you have. I'm talking about the 2002. The one you have flips down like a cell phone. I've had a couple of them over the years, and I like them. I would get another one. I personally like the way the regular one sounded better. The single window Echo Master Pro or whatever, classic. But yeah.
I get a couple of those. I just don't choose to use them. I like this one. I mean, it's got all the echo stuff. I have one of them little single window ones that I modified to do a timing on the echo. But this mic comes with all that built right in. That's kind of cool.
Like I said, I always liked the single window. The only reason I remember getting one of those is because they had the delay right on the front, but I put knobs on the front of my other one and did the delay, but I don't even run echo, so an echo mic to me doesn't matter, you know. The Echo Max is a great mic. I got a few of those things. I would take an Echo Max over to Delta all day long. They have a lot of processing in them. They sound amazing. They're a little bit bigger mic, but they sound and work very well. But, you know, I mean, like I said, it's made by a static. Some of them have a little higher pitch. You know, I don't know. I got a lot of different mics over here, and I like them all for different reasons, I guess.
You can't have too many mics. I mean, I got at least 50.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have too many, but I figure, you know, maybe one for each radio. But that's the problem. Like, I only use my same one mic that sits on my desk. So I have all these mics to look at, and I'm like, you know what? I have a little mic switchboard that I use, and I plug in the one mic to whichever radio I'm using in the little switchboard, and that's it.
I always dreamed of building myself one, but I just never done it yet.
Oh, it's nice. Like, all the wires run behind, so you don't, you know, except for coming off the switchboard is the only place, well, not right now, because I got some other radios hooked up that I don't have hooked up to the switchboard. But what was nice is, like I said, I mean, the switchboard had 10 jacks, a 4-pin on the front of it, and all the wires came out. They were straight wire. It came out, it went behind my fucking shelves, it went underneath every radio and just up into the mic jack, so you didn't have mic cords hanging in front of anything. And if it's a 6-pin radio, it went to the 6-pin, but it was all 4-pin on the front. So whatever, you know, whatever panel whatever jack I plug it into, it was automatically going from 4-pin to whatever that radio was.
Yeah, kind of like what I was thinking about doing with my microphone tester. It's got all the jacks on it, and I was going to rig it up so that no matter what microphone you hook to it, you'd talk on the same radio with it.
Yeah, I mean, I went the opposite way, but yeah, I know what you're saying, yep.
Hey guys, I think I'm going to pull the plug, call it a night.
10-4, and I got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, it is getting that time, that is for sure.
Yeah, gonna shut it down. Whoever's left, have a good evening. I think everyone just kind of quietly faded out, but it is 10:15. Shut it down. Kitchen's closed.
Wait your turn.
Have a good, man. We will catch you in the morning.
Yep. See you later.
Have a fine one, Radio Man.
Have a good one, Radio Man.
Yeah, you two fix it, and I think I heard John in there. 7-3.
Yep, have a good one, man.
Fuck, man. The conditions are getting better. John, you're hammering now.
I'm hammering. It's just a Ranger.
It's all about the Ranger.
All right, guys, I'm shutting down the stream. Thanks for stopping by.